What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous Georgian Goes reporting for duty here. We get to talk to Davey Grant, who just won't stop. He's 39 years old and he keeps kicking ass. His fights are exciting. In the third round, he digs deeper than his younger opponents. Davey, what kind of genes do you got, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd be long done and dusted by this age. No, honestly, George. Thanks very much for that, though. But yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, I just feel like I keep getting better. It's good. I definitely thought I'd be retired by this age, in all honesty. But no, and I still feel fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's seriously very interesting how you just you can rally where a lot of other younger, or it might not even be younger fighters. It's just some don't have that sixth gear, I suppose. Fighter IQ. I think a lot of it has to do with fighter IQ. You and Coach Wood, you guys just somehow figure out round three, and you always close strong as well. You always leave us wanting more if it goes to a decision or whatever, and the opponent just can't seem to keep up. So, is there almost a method to that madness?
I mean, yeah. But obviously we put the work in behind closed doors, and I feel like John's been working on every part of my game, but we know that it's becoming a bit of a trend where I'm sort of thrown and still pushing towards the third round. So we're just going to start to get that earlier, like start to crumble people a bit earlier. That's going to be the key.
Some guys don't slow down, like Tom Brady. I don't know if you follow American football. He played, I think, till 45. I mean, he's like an all-time great. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm sure you've heard that name before. I think he's about 40. And a lot of people just point to they lead a clean lifestyle. How about you? What do you think has assisted, other than probably fantastic genes in your family? Do you lead a clean lifestyle or
yeah. I mean, that's probably the main thing, But once I started hitting like the older side of 30, when I was into my late 30s, I was thinking, I just didn't want this to end. And I thought, what's the best way that I can make this career prolong for as long as possible? So I started getting into every little biohack I can. So like not eating like anything processed and just looking after myself, mobility, stuff what I wouldn't concentrate on as much in my younger years, because you think you're just going to live forever, don't you? And then you start to get a bit older, you realize, oh, hold on, time sort of does run out. so I honestly, at the moment, I'm just doing everything I possibly can with the supplements and the vitamins and things that I take, to every bit of food I eat, to my mobility, like schedule and rest days when needed and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely exactly what you said there. It's just really trying to biohack and just consume the most healthy things possible.
Do you make the best out of the UFC PI as well, with recovery and the food that we talked about? You are a Vegas guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've done my camps in Vegas for the last few years, but now I've moved over with a family. I think I've only been living here for about the last month. I moved over with me and the three
Oh,
kids.
it's just the camps. Okay.
Yeah, my wife only actually gets here tonight because she was at home wrapping up the businesses. So I've been in fight camp looking after the three kids, which has been that's been hard work, But we're all used to it now. When the wife gets home tonight, so we can't wait to see her. But like using the PI in Vegas and then constantly at Syndicate every day, it's just gonna maximize the rest of my career, I feel.
Man, I like to ask awkward questions, so I'm gonna put you in an awkward spot. But do you go to the PI and go, "I'll have 4 burgers"? Can you feed the family too, or is that just maybe, or is it just you?
No, it's just for me. I have to go and pay for the kids.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I heard they're very welcoming. They'll have all your meals, and a lot of fighters make the best of it. But you being in that pickle, I just thought maybe you could sneak them in there too.
To be fair, they really look after us. Like everything you want, it's there, and the staff and everything is so welcoming. And I take the kids up, and the kids go in, and like my son, he likes to go in and because he's like a big MMA fan, so he's like seeing people who he knows, like the big stars and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a great experience to go.
For sure. Yeah. Wow. So you've had the kids for 1 whole month while you're doing a camp.
Yeah, well, we got here. So every time I'm in Vegas, right, the drive to the gym, of like I'll go down the same road every time. The drive to the gym and the PI is the same, and I just look and there's just so many nice places to eat in America compared to where I'm from, and I can never eat them because I'm in camp. And then I thought, right, I'm finally moving over. So I'm moving over with the kids. I'm thinking me and the kids can go and explore all these different food outlets. Like, because the kids see them on YouTube, you know, and it seems like a big thing to them. Everything they watch is like American. We'd been here one day, and my manager called me and said, look, we've been offered a fight. And I was like, I rang my wife. I was like, look, I've been offered a fight. I know I'm over here with the kids on my own. She was like, look, you know, and I know you're going to take this fight. I don't know why you're ringing. And then I think about 10 minutes later, because I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, you know, looking after the 3 kids, new country. And but within a couple of minutes, I'd already took the fight anyway. So I'm still just driving past all these food outlets, unable to eat them. So I'm looking forward to getting the fight out of the way and then going and exploring them with the kids.
If you didn't take this fight, would you have fought in 2025, you think? Or you think that that was your opportunity and then next... I mean, you're on next year's schedule.
Yeah, no, I was definitely. I think that's why I got the fight so quick, because I told my manager straight away after from what I usually come out of fights. I came out of the last fight just totally unscathed. It felt like I just had like a good sparring session. You know, like I didn't throw too many kicks and things, so my shins and feet usually come all bruised. But I was in good stead, and I said, look, try and get me out again before the end of the year. So even if I didn't take this one, I'd have been still trying to get one. I'll still try and get another one after this year if I possibly can.
Take it easy, Davey Grant. You want another one?
Yeah, I would love to. It's like, it's not that I'm scared of retiring. It's just I feel like I've got so much more to give before I do.
Right. You know, it
so,
just seems like you pour every ounce of sweat and tears and blood into it all. So maybe I'm reading this wrong, you know, because you're fair skinned, obviously, and so sometimes it just might look worse than it could be. I'm glad to hear that you're coming out of it relatively unscathed. Yeah. But that's one thing I admire, is the fact that, like, a lot of fighters, you can tell they left gas in the tank still, you know, and then they're wondering why they lost a split decision. And you know how to manage that. I think that comes from experience. All right, I've hogged the stage a lot. Let me let my brother get in here. He's been pumped up to get you on the show too. Goes, what do you have for Davey Grant?
Well, I'm nosy too. Now I want to know, because we live in Vegas. What side of Vegas do you live on?
Oh, so I'm in a place, Enterprise it's called. I think it's the west side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We live in Mountain's Edge, so we probably don't live too far away from you.
Oh, nice. I absolutely love Vegas. I really do. It's a fantastic place to bring in. Like, we've got the kids in like a wrestling homeschool thing and stuff like that. So kids are getting the most. Like I say, the kids, everything they see on TV. That's why I wanted to live in America ever since I was young. You know, from like the days of watching, like even Saved by the Bell or any movie. Whenever I would come to America, I would feel like I was in the movies, and it made me want to live here.
Well, so George and I, we grew up in California, in Southern California.
Yeah.
So coming to Vegas was really easy when we would live there, because you could take a 45-minute flight, or you could just drive 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
But because we live in Vegas now, every weekend somebody's here visiting, because it's so easy to come. And so it got to the point where I've made like lists on Yelp of my A level, B level, C level rest. Like any question that people have, I just throw them the list and go, here's like 30 A level restaurants, start here, B level, breakfast, dessert, all that. So definitely we'll hook you up. We're gonna make sure you get to all the good spots in Vegas. But all right, MMA. All right, let's get to MMA. Otherwise, this guy's gonna miss weight. We keep asking these questions. Okay, 14 fights in the UFC. That's not easy to do. Okay, and you've been able to do it over this long period of time. I know that you said that the retirement word kind of scares you, but like George said, we don't see anything. If anything, we think you're getting better. Yeah. So what would you say is the actual like time frame that you're working on here? Like how much longer do you think you could do it?
Yeah, I'm honest. In all honesty, I'm not thinking of any age. I'm just thinking of like performances, and I feel like I'm just going to keep fighting while I feel like I'm getting better, and while I still feel like I can hang with the best guys in the world. If like that's the plan. And I still feel like I'm getting better, and I still feel like I can hang with you can put me in a fight in anyone in the division, and I'm going to have an exciting fight. I don't care who it is, and I'll perform. if it gets to the point where maybe I feel like I'm getting worse. I mean, I know it's not going to be. I don't feel like it's going to be like that. I know some fighters you see and you watch them fight and you think, wow, he's looking old this time. I'm sure it's not. It just doesn't go like that. It's sort of going to be like this, and then it'll like slowly start to drop off. And even when I start to drop off, I'm sure I can still go and hang with the best guys in the world. And I'll sort of use that as a marker. I wouldn't want to just keep turning up and getting beat and feeling like I wasn't myself, because it's just not me. I'm way too competitive for that. So I think that's just going to be, rather than a number, it's just going to be how I feel.
You know, over that many fights, there's probably not too many surprises when they give you an opponent and the skill set that's coming along with them. But can you maybe give us something that where you feel like Jourdain maybe is different from other opponents that you've gotten?
I mean, hopefully he's going to want to come to scrap, you know, like, and this is no disrespect to any of the people I've fought, but it's getting a bit but I think it's a good thing. Like, people are like sort of respecting the power, but when people are shelling up, it's a little bit harder to get the knockouts and things like that. So if you've got someone who's in there to scrap, that's going to be a good fight, you know. And that's exactly what I think he brings. I think he's a fantastic striker, and he's had loads of fights in the UFC himself, so he's going to be nice and comfortable in there. And I'm looking forward just to having like a real good tear up, and I think that's what he brings.
Before these last two fights, you were a finishing machine. And I know that's like Dana White sometimes throws that out like it's the easiest thing in the world to get a finish. It's not. But do you feel like, is it just the level of opposition, the way the fights played out? Or like, do you feel like you're going to get back to those finishing ways?
Yes, hopefully. I mean, that's always the plan. I'm always going in there, and there's no secret about what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and knock you out. That's how I want to win fights, and that's how I want to fight. And I got to a point in my career, because when I first started fighting, I was a lot safer, a lot more like calculated in the way that I would take fights, and I would get the takedowns, steal the rounds, and stuff like that. And I just changed. I thought, you know what it is? I want to fight how I want to fight. I want to fight exciting. I want to fight going for the knockout, and then being in those sort of fights. So I've sort of just really enjoy fighting now and doing exactly what I want to do, rather than worrying about the wins and the losses. I'm not too bothered. It's like, yes, of course I want to go and win, but I'm comfortable, and I'm very at peace with myself, because I know for a certain fact that if you put me in the cage, I'm going to try my hardest to win no matter what. So there's no worry that I've got that I'm not going to try and win no matter what happens. And it's a comfortable place to be, so I can just get in there and just enjoy it and know that I'm going to give absolutely everything.
You strike me as a guy who does do his homework. You do study the opponent, but at the end of the day, it's still, he is going to fight my fight versus me adapting to what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? That seems like the way the fight usually unfolds, and that's why I think the other people start to break a little bit, because they realize this guy's doing what he's out here to do, what he wants to do, and I'm adjusting to him or playing off of him. Is that kind of like how you devise plans? Like, I know what your strengths are, I know what your weaknesses are, but this is what I'm coming to do.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Exactly, and that's the way I tend to be, and that's it. Honestly, you've hit the nail right on the head there, and that's exactly what I say. I say, look, people can come at me with whatever game plan they want, but I feel like I've got weird timing, I've got a weird beat. You know, like I wouldn't say that I fight exactly like many other people, and I usually think they're going to have to game plan against me rather than me game plan against them. I'm just going to come and do what I do, and then and I'm going to give you a hard time doing it.
You've won 4 out of 5. If you win this one, it's 5 out of 6. You're on a good run. You've been busy the last 2 years, kind of like, I think there's been that 5-fight run has been in that time. When do you shift the focus to being maybe slowing down, but being more selective and maybe making a run for a title?
I mean, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm all about activity. I love my life in fight camp. Don't get us wrong. I do like it when I've just had the fight, because it's usually more not the actual fight coming up. It's the diet, and it can get tricky. And one thing I have noticed about getting older is I need to diet a little bit stricter from a little bit further out. My metabolism is not as fast as what it used to be, so the weight doesn't come off as well. And I'm very, very professional about everything, and I've never ever missed weight ever. So touch wood, that will never ever happen. I feel like that's I've got 2 jobs. I've got to make weight and I've got to turn up to fight. That's all I have to do, and then I get paid. So I try and treat very my diet and everything very professional. So the couple of weeks just after the fight, I do enjoy and I will be a little bit less strict on myself. I still feel guilty eating like sugary, like sort of like fast food and things like that. I'll do it, but it's weird. I'll do it just because I can, and then I love to get back on the wagon and start fighting again. And my life, I love it when I've got a fight coming up. I love it when I've got focus. I just it makes me feel better about myself. I like having those sort of goals, because if I haven't got that goal, then I need another goal. So if I'm not fighting, then I need another goal. It'll be like probably business and it'll be coaching and like doing different things for the family, But I'm a very, very goal oriented person. So yeah, it's definitely a good thing for me to just keep getting fights and just being as active as possible. Hopefully we're going get the win this one. Nice, fantastic, quick knockout would be great, and then go. And we should be challenging top 15, I think, because I feel like even on the last few fights, I feel like the one I lost in London, I don't think I lost that fight. I thought I won that. I feel like I should be on an even better run. The one with Yanez was so close. I watched that one back, and I could be being biased, but I thought I won that as well. And they're close on the judges' scorecards, and the things that we've been working on to try and make it so it's not so close. And then ideally, top 15, top 10 next for sure.
What I like about the Jordane fight is his fights don't suck either. This one's going to be a scrap, man. I like this one a lot.
100%. He's a great fighter. He's had some great fights, and he's coming for it. And he's the hometown guy. I'm going into sort of enemy territory. Going to fight him in Canada, which I like all that. I don't mind. They can boo me as much as they want. I'll feed off it. Like I like all that sort of like I don't know if it's pressure or not. I don't know. It's fun to me.
I don't know if Canada has rivalries amongst their provinces, but I believe he's in Quebec, in Montreal. You guys are fighting Vancouver. I mean, there's quite a distance there. Who knows? He might cheer for you coming out of the Ultimate Fighter. There might be province rivalry. Maybe they want you. I don't know.
I didn't realize that. I wasn't sure whereabouts in Canada he was from.
Oh, yeah. It's probably the distance, probably further than the top of England, which, well, I'll just throw out Newcastle, for example, or something up there, and then Portsmouth. It's probably even a greater distance than that. So,
yeah. Oh, well, you never know. Then I could be the good guy.
Maybe tough, coming out of the Ultimate Fighter, the big old smile, the exciting fights. Maybe they're cheering for you. What is your out of camp American fast food cheat meal? I'm curious.
You know what it is? I love in Vegas. I love the all you can eat sushis. Oh my God, they are so good. There's a one called Sushi Neko and Sushi Sumo, and I absolutely love eating there. It's when I come to Vegas, I make sure I go there all the time.
So I was thinking more along the line of a greasy burger, but your cheat meal sushi?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like I have it when I'm cheating even in camp sometimes, because it's not too bad. A lot of raw fish and rice, thing in the world. But I just love it because I'm very indecisive when it comes to eating. Like I'm a proper foodie and I love any type of food, but I like lots of different ones. Like I try and get my wife to order certain foods when we go out. I like try and pick her meals so that I can try some of that and some of mine. And
I like that strategy.
Yeah.
You know where the sumo sushi is? In that same plaza, there's another good sushi place on the corner. Try that one.
One's that one called?
I forget what it's called, but it's in the same plaza. It's by the Vons right there.
Right, I'll try that. Nice one, thank you.
What about a greasy burger? Do you like those?
I don't mind burgers. Yeah, I love a good burger. But I tend to not eat things because I've spent so much of my life dieting that I feel like I'm hungover. I mean, I don't drink anymore at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I hated being hungover. But now it gets to the point where if I have too much fast food, I'll feel like I'm hungover. Like
I feel that way too. Kind of like it's great at the time, and then you're like, oh man, I'm skipping the next meal.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd say In-N-Out. I'm a big West Coast guy, and it's more of a West Coast food chain. You ever had In-N-Out?
I took the kids to In-N-Out because they were like, oh, we need to go and try In-N-Out. So we and I had a couple of the fries and I think I had a little nibble of one of the burgers, and it's decent, yeah. But the kids liked it.
Yeah, the fries aren't really much to write home about, but the burgers are
Yeah.
funny. All right, let's close with this. Back to awkward questions. You brought it up, Davey Grant. When you did watch Saved by the Bell and you were a young guy and you got hormones and all, who were you fancying more, Lisa Turtle, Jesse Spano, or Kelly Kapowski?
Come on, surely that's an easy one. It was
I
Kelly.
think so, but we all have different tastes, right? I mean, they were all pretty cute, man.
Yeah, I know, but I was absolutely in love with Kelly.
Okay.
Absolutely in love. Like she was probably my first crush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I thought Lisa Turtle was a little underrated because everyone looked at the other two, but I guess as they started growing up, I was like, oh, Lisa, they came back one season. I was like, oh shit, this is a 3-man attacking, there's 3 number 9s out there. Before it was like a number 9 and a 7 and an 11 or whatever. Now we had 3 strikers.
But I did what was that film? It was Jesse was on
Girls.
Yeah. So she started to work her way back in with that film. So she's watching You Did Well. She nearly got the number 1 spot with that film.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't forget too when they would go to the beach and Stacey Carosi now all of a sudden was the girl, the Leah Remini.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you watch those, David?
Oh, I never saw.
They had was it called the Malibu Beach Club or something like that? And yeah, Zach fell in love with her, and Leah Remini was the one that was on King of Queens with what's the guy that dabbled in MMA? Kevin James. I don't know if you ever watched King of Queens.
No, I've never seen those ones.
Yeah, she was a cutie when she was younger as well. But that show was classic. Go says that the Mario Lopez and what was that other guy's name? His real name?
Which one?
That is his real name. Oh, AC Slater?
Oh,
AC Slater and Zach, right?
Yeah. He was on commentating, wasn't he, the other night? Mario Lopez on.
Yeah. They had a good fight. They had a good fight scene in the lockers one time as well. So for those days, what was that, like late 80s, early 90s, whatever that was a good fight scene.
Yeah. Whoever that was the perfect example of a 10-10 round.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Davey, thanks, man, for the time on MMA Junkie Radio. We'll probably see you at Syndicate sometime soon. I hope you have a safe camp, and congrats on coming over to the Stripes, the red, white, and blue, and we're welcoming of everybody, man. So I hope you and your kids and your wife love our country.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for that. It was a great interview. Thank you.